What's good, peeps? What is good? All right, I haven't filmed in a couple of days, so let's see what stories we can find to talk about. Someone actually sent me an email on Monday asking me what my knockout of the year was. I think I've said this a few times on the lives I've done recently, that my knockout of the year was Povetkin's knockout of Dillian Whyte. Look, no doubt, like in all of the fights that happened in 2020, there probably was a better knockout. But I think at the top end of boxing, and this is what I always try and go to, the top end of boxing, I think that was the best knockout. Some have said Gervonta Davis. That was a good knockout of Leo Santa Cruz. There's some other ones as well. But for me, the technique on Povetkin's was just superb. Like Gervonta Davis put a lot into that knockout. Like he was really swinging for the fences. It wasn't about technique. It was more just about power. Whereas Povetkin's, it almost just looked like a little tap. And not just the technique of the punch, but the technique to get into the position to throw the punch, I think was just stunning. I actually think it was, like, I haven't seen a knockout that good for years. Honestly, for years. Like, most knockouts you see are just pure power. Like, for example, Wilder, when he put Dominic Breazeale or Luis Ortiz to sleep, that's just pure power. The technique's actually not good. I mean, he sets it up quite well, but it's just pure power. The foot movement ain't great. Everything about Povetkin's knockout, everything. Foot placement. I think like, I can't remember it clearly now, but I'm sure he kind of pivots. Like, Dillian Whyte throws a jab, and I feel like he either steps back or pivots underneath that jab or something. But everything about it anyway is just stunning. And then the way it put Dillian Whyte to sleep was just, it was brutal, honestly. So that's my knockout of the year by some margin. Again, I'm sure someone's going to name a knockout that's better in like the lower leagues, if you know what I mean by that. But in terms of elite fighters, yeah, I don't think it gets better than that personally. It doesn't. All right. What stories do we have to talk about? Before we do that, some good news. Some good news, people. I am going to be doing a show on TalkSport on Sundays with a certain Andy Cole. Andy Cole. I mean, I don't know how old a lot of you are, but if you are around my age, 39, 40, then Andy Cole, you know how big a deal this is. He actually does the show already with a guy called Sam Matterface. Sam Matterface used to work for Sky. He's now England's football commentator for ITV. He actually does that show, but Sam Matterface is actually going to do something for Dancing on Ice for I think about 2 or 3 months. So I'm actually covering it. So it's me, Andy Cole, and Perry Groves. I'm working a lot. I can't lie to you. I'm working like 6-7 days a week. I do need to relax a bit. I think I'm going to go for a big holiday if we can get out of the country. Maybe end of Feb. My birthday's March. Maybe around then, just like a week, 10 days off, because I do quite a lot. All right, enough of that. Manuel Charr awaits travel visa for scheduled January 29th title fight versus Trevor Bryan. Title fight. Obviously, Manuel Charr, I don't know what he's got. What's he got? WBA something? Okay. I don't want to waste my time on that. Luke Campbell on declining to press Garcia in round 2. If I rush in, I was going to get caught. Who am I to say that's wrong? Like, who am I? Like, who am I on this green chair that's never boxed professionally, only laced up the gloves a few times? Who am I to say, no, Luke, you're wrong? But I'm going to say it. Luke, you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Look, you got beat anyway. So, you know, it's not like we can sit back now and say you won, so the decision you made to not rush in was correct. I'm not saying rush in and press. I'm just saying put a bit more pressure on him. Like, after you got knocked down, you wouldn't know if the referee, like, if you didn't see the knockdown and you just saw the referee tell them to come together, you wouldn't know who got knocked down. Whereas normally the guy that gets knocked down goes onto the back foot and the guy that knocked him down is pressing. We saw no pressing at all, really, from Luke. Some people, I think one judge actually gave that round a 10-9. So he's basically saying, aside from the knockdown, Ryan Garcia won that round, which I don't believe. I don't think so, but that's how much I think he let Ryan Garcia off the hook. Now, I'm with Luke a bit here in the sense that Ryan got up. He didn't look super dazed at all. I have to be fair. He didn't look super dazed. Looked a bit confused, but didn't look super dazed. So he's right. If he did fully rush in and fully commit, you know, like just close your eyes and fucking throw windmills, yeah, he's probably going to get caught. But he still should have applied a bit more pressure. I think it was such a good opportunity to kind of get Ryan out of there. It really was. So yeah, I just, again, who are we to say Luke should have done? I mean, you're talking Luke Campbell there and you're talking Shane McGuigan in the corner. They're a lot more experienced than probably all of us watching this video right now. So they're probably right and we're probably wrong. I saw an interview Luke Campbell did with Sky where he spoke about retiring. Wait, actually, let me phrase that correctly. He was asked a question about retiring. And he kind of no, I'm not retiring. I'm not even thinking about it. He said like, no chance, which is interesting because I did say the options are 140 retirement or stay as a gatekeeper. Maybe he kind of doesn't view those options. Maybe he thinks there's still some business to be done at 135. You know, in a couple of years' time, maybe we'll look back and Ryan Garcia's dominating 135 and it's not a bad performance. But for now, I don't know. I think you've got to go to 140. I think there are still some matchups he can have at 135, by the way, just because he's got a name value now. So there are some matchups, but 140 for me and start again. That's what I think. Wait for the winner of, if it happens, by the way, Ramirez, Josh Taylor. The winner will vacate and go up, and then there might be a few belts scattered around or something. I don't know. But I think 140. Promoter, what's this one? Fortuna ready to fight Haney for title. Pretty sure Ryan Garcia has other plans. Yeah, it's not going to be Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, not at all. So it was supposed to be Fortuna before Gamboa, so you might as well just do it again. I don't have much interest in that fight, if I'm honest with you, but I'm still not super convinced with Haney. So let's see how Haney gets on with Fortuna. Fortuna a lot smaller than Haney. So let's see how Haney gets on with him. And then we'll see. Haney is the only one out of this crop now that hasn't had a fight against someone of note. Yeah, he's the one with the WBC belt. Teo, as we know, has fought Loma. Gervonta's fought Leo Santa Cruz. Even Pedraza is no slouch, by the way. Ryan, we've now seen fight Luke. Haney's the only one out of that crop that hasn't done anything. And he's got a belt. Strange. Teofimo Lopez, my plan is 3 fights in 2021. I want to repeat as fighter of the year. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I like the talk. For me, again, when a fighter says 3 or 4 fights, like Canelo's spoken about having 4 fights, I don't mind one of those fights being a gimme. I don't mind, and I think we as fans would accept that. I think we would. We don't mind it being tough fight, gimme, which could be a mandatory, kind of like when GGG fought Zerameta. So not a top fight, and then another tough fight. We don't mind that. So you can have 3 fights. You definitely can. Look, if you're having 3 elite level fights, then I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think it takes too long to put these big fights together. But I mean, tough fight, gimme, tough fight. Why not? Why bloody not? Tommy Fury here saying he expects Tyson Fury to have easy time with Anthony Joshua. Okay. No, I think we all know that's not going to happen. He's not going to have an easy time with Anthony Joshua. It's like what's going on here, man? Easy time with Anthony Joshua. Someone that can punch like that. Someone that can actually box as well. Someone that's got boxing ability. It's not like Wilder who just could punch. I gave Wilder no love for boxing ability. AJ can punch and he's got boxing ability. And he's not going to be bullied like Wilder. There was times in that fight where Fury was just too big for him. He's just like bullying him. Although they're the same height, there was like, I don't know how many stone different, 3 stone. You can't bully AJ like that. AJ will come in a bit bigger. So you can't just have his way with him. This ain't no easy fight. I've said it on this channel before. I think Fury beats AJ. I love AJ, but I think Fury's just a bit too good for him. But it's no easy fight at all. None. Anthony Joshua indicates only 5 years left in his career. How old is AJ again? 31. Let me check. 30, 31, 32? I ain't got a clue. AJ is 31 October. 5 years left. That's even actually quite long. Like, these boxers are bloody better than me, man. I'm telling you now, if I have that kind of money, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I'd have one, like, if I'm AJ, I'm not even playing here, I'd have a couple of legacy fights against, what are the legacy fights in this right now? Maybe Fury, Usyk, Fury, whatever order you want to put that in. Are there any other fights that we desperately want to see? Not for me. And then I'm out of here. I am literally hanging up the gloves. Like, Usyk will pay Joshua, I don't know, 20 mil? If there's fans around, 20 mil, maybe more. Fury, whatever, 100? What else am I here for? Why am I rolling the dice, risking brain damage when I've got 400 million in the bank or whatever it is? And we know AJ will go on to do other things outside of boxing. Just that guy, right? He'll be on chat shows, all that. I'm done after a couple of fights, mate. AJ's talking about 5 more years. Fuck that. 6 months, blood. Some good news here about Adonis Stevenson. He's a lot healthier. I remember after that fight against Wasnt, where I think he went into a coma, and it's good to see him moving around, just doing things right now. Again, it highlights how dangerous the sport is. Very, very dangerous, man. Really. And that's kind of why I go back to that thing. You guys might disagree with me when I talk about AJ, just 2 more fights than done. Like, hanging around in this sport is so dangerous. You know, it's crazy because they're talking about footballers right now and dementia. There's this thing going on with footballers from heading the ball. From just heading the ball, they're trying to like ban it, like especially at a younger age, and trying to reduce it in training. Boxers get punched in the head, man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I don't hope this isn't a new line. Lomachenko cast doubt on CompuBox efficiency during Lopez fight. I really question how they count punches. Why do you care? You lost. Just move on. What you should be doing is gunning for the rematch in a way. All this nonsense, blood. Oh, frustrating. Someone said, Ade, I thumbed down your video because you drink like my granddad. Fuck you. Granddad. You know what it is? I've got the mic so you can hear the slurping. If there was no mic, you wouldn't hear shit. That's what it is. WBC president backs Canelo's defense. Yildirim is much better than people think. No, he isn't. No, he is not. You don't need to sell it like that. We'll watch it because it's Canelo, but don't try and trick us. We're not dumb out here. Yildirim is not better than we think. He's just not that good. Act like we just started watching boxing yesterday. We all watch Chris Eubank dent him, and we know where Chris Eubank is. Miguel Bichel, Oscar Valdez is official, people. February 20th, ESPN. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think that might be, I'm trying to think, is that the first big boxing match that's back? And that's quite far. I think it might be, you know. Might be. We'll see what Eddie Hearn announces. He's saying he's going to announce some fights, and they might be in America or somewhere else around the world. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, anything else for us to have a little chat about? Caleb Plant says, I wasn't overly impressed with Canelo, and Callum Smith didn't go out on his shield. Oh, here we go, the out on the shield thing. Yeah. I've got one hand. I can fucking barely move this one because Canelo's fucked that hand up. And he got this little ginger kid that's just fucking probably on all sorts of clenbuterol that I just can't get off me. What do you want me to do? Go out on the shield? I'm fighting. What do you want me to put my fucking chin out and let him knock me out? Out on his shield. Caleb, when you get the opportunity, let's see what you do. Let's see if you go out on your shield. Javonte Davis, Ryan Garcia continue to hype up potential blockbuster showdown here. Both of them have put up sort of these fan-made posters. This is the one thing I do like about these guys at 135. And I think I said this. Of those four, let's park Loma for a second, just because I think Loma maybe will go down to 130. Plus, has only got a couple of years left. None of these four are scared of each other. They genuinely, all four of them, genuinely, and I believe them, think they can fuck the other up. Like, none of them's actually thinking, oh, None. Like Ryan Garcia is putting up posters saying it'll take 2 rounds. Gervonta Davis is saying, I don't talk, I do act. Like my talking's in the ring. Teofimo right now is the man, right? He's the one that's, I beat the man that is the man, now I'm the man. And Devon's there thinking, I need a win. I need to win against someone because anyone, if I'm honest with you. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, I think we are done. I think we are done. A little line here about Beterbiev. He's back in training after fighting off COVID. So his fight, fingers crossed, will be done soon. Yeah, quick one, people. Nice and quick. Oh, what's this? That's it. We're done. Peace and love.